We've been cruising this boat around the Chesapeake Bay for like 2 years now, and we are getting so close to having it really where we want it. We've replaced rotten core on the deck, we have replaced the windlass, we've replaced chain plates, and now we're building this awesome hardtop Dodger setup that replaced our old canvas that was really falling apart. Last episode I built the form for this hardtop. In this episode we actually build the hardtop, paint it, mount it on the boat, and build this whole enclosure. So there's a whole lot in this episode. Some stuff I didn't really do too well filming on, so yeah, I just kind of got into a rush. Like, we really wanted to get this thing on. It's now October, it's starting to get cold here. We really wanted this set up before we get into like end of October, November, and even December sailing here. So yeah, we got a lot done and super happy with how it turned out, and we hope that you guys enjoy this one. But if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment. It really helps us build our channel and we really appreciate it. I wanted to show you guys how cool this foam is. It's actually not even foam. It's actually a honeycomb sort of deal, and it's plastic. This is called Plascore. It has this fabric on top, and then it has these little teeny tiny honeycombs. I actually was kneeling on it before to cut it out, and it seems pretty good, and it's really light. It's pretty, you know, there's not much to it. It's just these plastic honeycombs, and then there's nothing in between. So it should give the rigid structure that we want without the weight. Balsa would probably be my other option to use, but I decided to not go with balsa because balsa obviously can rot, and we are gonna have stuff bolted to this to hold it up, and then also handrails and maybe lights and things like that. This is also what Sailing Avocet used when they did their Dodger top, and that's kind of where I got the idea to use this stuff. And I thought, hey, I might as well try it, so here we are. Now I gotta cut out the lines in this to allow it to flex. It flexes a little bit right now, but not nearly enough to be able to make the bend of the contour. It will like flex a little bit, but it's really not much. First, I think I'm gonna get the plastic laid down on this form, and then I'll start cutting those lines. Hopefully it's the right size. So the foam is all hot glued down now, and I'm kind of running into a problem. I only have this flag resin, which is not the best for laminating. It's actually a little bit thicker, but I think because today it's like 80 degrees, I think this stuff will be okay. I've also run into an issue. I don't know if I have enough. This fiberglass takes a lot of epoxy. It just like really absorbs it. So we'll see what happens. And I'm also going with the slow hardener for this project, just because it's so warm and I'm working in such a large area at one time. I really want to make sure that I've got plenty of time to let this just kick off and not kick off in the middle of me laying glass. So I've already got 2 pieces of 17-ounce biax cut. I can lay those down. I'm going to start mixing some epoxy, get everything ready where it needs to be, and then start laying glass. And I think I'm going to try and do a layer of chop strand mat on the top, just to give it a little more volume on the fiberglass side, but also to be like a nice surface to fare on. So that's the plan. 2 layers of 17-ounce biax and 1 layer of chop strand. was a lot. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, it's the next morning and I haven't looked at this thing yet today, so this will be my first look with you guys. Let's see what this thing looks like. Hopefully the epoxy dried. Looks pretty good. The epoxy definitely dried, so that's good news. I really hate these ripples that are in this from the folded glass. I mean, it's really easy to see them now. That is really annoying. But they'll stand out pretty easy, I think. So, not too worried about it. Now the question is going to be, can I get it up and off of this with all the hot glue that I put down? So I have just spent the last like 3 nights just sanding, epoxying, sanding, filling, sanding, fiberglass, sanding. So now I'm kind of on the last and final stage, and all I need to do now is mix up some filler and spread that on and let that do its thing overnight, come back and sand, then I'll have to fill again probably, and then sand again. So how many times have I sanded now? 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 times. So yeah, this is kind of like getting down to the home stretch of sanding. Thank God, because it's getting exhausting. I feel like I'm like part fiberglass now. All right, so it's been a couple of days now, and I've done a couple of rounds of sanding and fairing and getting this thing all ready for paint. And now I'm basically at the stage where I'm gonna start to prime. One thing I did want to show you guys was I usually don't use tack rags. Usually I just use paper towels and get it as best I can. But I'm trying to do this like really the correct way with everything. So I bought tack rags for the first time. I got these on Amazon, and they're just these little Duragold tack rags. And I've got to say that these things are amazing. It has gotten all of the dust off of it, and it's like way smoother than I have ever gotten with a paper towel, acetone, all that. So I did paper towel first, and then I wiped it down with acetone, and then I wiped it down with this tack rag, and now there's like nothing that comes off of it, which is great for the first coat because it's gonna make it a really strong coat. And yeah, it's this stuff. It is, I don't know, I definitely recommend it. Say it again.
How many of these are we doing? We're doing this one going back a little bit.
Yeah.
There's gonna be one in the front. Are we doing one straight up?
No, I think we'll do the two that come back, which are these we're trying to do now. Mounting a hardtop can be done in so many different ways. We were both limited on supplies and didn't want to pay a welder to make a custom frame. We also wanted to limit the number of new holes in the boat, so we took a few minutes to come up with a game plan. Josh, come up an inch. Josh, come down a little more. Matt, go up a hair. Yeah. Twist it like this way just a little bit. Yep, that's it right there.
Oh yeah.
That's it. That's it. You got it? There she is, all mounted up. She's pretty solid. Side to side, there's still a little bit of movement, but we do have cross brace there, cross brace there. It's really not too bad. I don't think you're going to be able to like rip it off. And I think also once the fabric is like on here, I think that's really going to help lock it in too. I mean, it looks really good and it seems like it's really going to serve its purpose really well. It feels, you know, super solid. It's definitely not moving. It's been up overnight, one night so far, and it's still here, so that's a good sign. One thing I really like about this is kind of like the location, like my eyes are just above it, so it doesn't really block a whole lot of my view. I mean, I can see like just over the top. And then I think this is actually also a little bit taller than where the other one was by just a smidge, so there's like still like a good bit of room under here. Yeah, overall really happy and glad that Josh and Matt could come out and help me yesterday because I couldn't have done this by myself. There's no way. I mean, there's a point where we tried to rig this thing up with lines so that we didn't have to hold it the whole time, but that was not going to work at all. Like it wasn't going to work. That was my original idea if I had to do it by myself. So I'm glad that I was able to get some help because it made it possible. Without that, I wouldn't have been able to do it. So thanks, guys. So I just finished up templating this whole thing. The really flat areas are really easy, but the curve like on the front corners, like that curve there was really difficult. That curve there was difficult. Yeah, it only took me a couple hours to do this, and this hopefully is going to mean that we don't waste any more expensive fabric or snaps or zippers or anything like that, and means we can get this thing finally finished. Although I have one more little touch that I'm going to add to this. Hey guys, it's been like a really long time since I brought the camera out, and we've been super busy just making stuff for this Dodger. And I wanted to show you how everything turned out. I think the last thing I showed you was the template that I made, and now I got the enclosure all done, and it is really freaking sweet. There are a couple of little things that need to be done, just some grommets put on and some like little finishes, but for the most part it's in and it's on and it's attached and it looks good. There's been a lot of like frustration and cussing, to be honest with you, because just like making this stuff fit really well and making it like as wrinkle free as possible and stuff is really pretty difficult. So yeah, people that make these and make them look really good, that's amazing, because this stuff is pretty challenging to do. And then we're also going to be adding like covers for the windows. We decided to go with strata glass on these windows. I think this is 60 mil. I'd have to double check. It's either 40 or 60. It's like their middle grade or middle thickness one. This stuff really, like, you know, they say it's UV resistant, but I don't know. We've put this in windows before and it always ends up cracking and fading and stuff. So we're gonna put covers on them to hopefully make them last as long as they can. Moment of truth. Does this thing come on and do anything? Oh, we got a red light. We got lights. Oh sweet, they're already changing color. That is pretty cool. Oh hell yeah, it's gonna be a party. That's cool. Then that's white. Nice. Oh yeah. That is so cool. I like it. I like it a lot.
Dude, I think that should be your thumbnail right there. Dude, that's like an album cover. Just wait till you see the video, like, that was a good shot. You're chilling.
After teacher?
Yeah.
Dude, that's...
Oh, I can make it lower. Hang on.